So we said project management is mastering the art and science of making things happen from nothing. So if we look at what we have on our screen right now, we can see that the global market is 6.7 trillion by 2030. That means that is the value of project managers in the global market. And there is 6% job growth from 2024 to 2034. This is above average. And median salary is $100,000 plus for every project manager. Okay, we live in a world of projects. I believe all of us knows all around us are projects, either defined as projects or not defined. But we live in a world of projects. Let's start from the big ones up to the day-to-day activity that we do. The Taj Mahal in India was was built by 22,000 laborers. So if you imagine, how do they coordinate 22,000 laborers that worked on a project and it was built within 22 years? So how do they move? How do they get these resources? How do they evaluate the work? How do they delegate tasks? All these are projects, right? Look at the International Space Center, which 15 countries participated in this huge project. So you can see that every now and then, all around us, there is projects. We have the COVID-19 vaccines in 2020. And I want us to just take a moment and just imagine what are the simple projects that is even close to us. Learning to play an instrument, plan a surprise birthday party, organize a team event, launch a personal blog. I know some of us this year we decided that, oh, I need to make my career more visible. What do I need? I need a training on this, I need a training on that. Every day we have projects that is ongoing. Imagine you checked online and you see a simple delicacy and you decide to try it out. It's a project. You may look minute, irrelevant, but yes, it's a project. Imagine it failed. That means you are preparing poison. So these are little things which are projects. That's why we say we live in a world of projects. All around us, we can see government projects and every all kinds of projects, right? So what is project? We have been talking about projects. What exactly is project? Next slide, sir. So according to PMI, which is a Project Management Institute, project is defined as a temporary endeavor undertaken to produce a unique product, service, or result. Please, I want us to take note of this. First is temporary endeavor, and second is to produce a unique product, service, or result. So this is what project in simple term is all about. Now, we can also say a project is a process consisting of a set of coordinated and controlled activities with a start and finish date undertaken to achieve an objective. Now, this every project must have a start and a finish date. Every project must have a start and a finish date, and it must be undertaken to achieve an objective. Now, whenever a project doesn't have a start and finish, it becomes an operation. So, what is the difference between a project and an operation? First, a project is temporary with end date. It has a unique deliverables and it's a catalyst for change, right? First is temporary with end date, a unique deliverables, and it's a catalyst for change. Now, what is operation? Operation is an ongoing and repetitive task. It has a standard output and maintains status quo. So, how do I explain a project and an operation? This is how I explain it. Taking a product to the market is a project, but supplying the market with the product is an operation. I lived in the north, and I used to make an example with Rufida and Habib yogurt, right? Habib yogurt was the first of its kind, that product that we got to know. and it expanded beyond expectation, right? Almost everywhere you go to, every nooks and cranny of anywhere in the north, you see a big yogurt with fura, a big yogurt with dates, a big everywhere. Then all of a sudden, another product came out, Rufida. So I said, this is how I explain it. Now, Rufida is a product who sees Habib as a competitor. Now, Rufida going to the market first is a product, but continuing to supply the market is an operation. Now, if the company of the owner of Rufida or the project manager in charge of that campaign says we need to expand our reach to 5 states in the north, right? It becomes a product again. It becomes a project. Why? Because, for example, they took up the first state, and wow, people loves it. People started ordering for it, which becomes an operation. Now they decided to do an expansion project, which is let us go into 5 states, right? It becomes a project because if it's not managed well, it may fail. Now, when they are able to reach out to 5 states and they keep supplying 5 states, it becomes an operation. If they move their expansion plan and says, I want to move to the whole of Nigeria, north, south, east, and west. I want everywhere there should be a shop that sells Rufida products. It becomes a project again. So what I'm trying to get out of this is a project can become an operation and also become a project. Why? Because there is always a scale up, a plan for expansion. Now, what are the core characteristics of projects? Number one is temporary. Every project must have a defined beginning and the end time. It must have a defined beginning and the end time. Even failed projects have defined beginning and end time. Number two, it must be unique. It's not a day-to-day routine operation. It must have specific set of operation and must achieve something, right? It must be objective driven. Either I'm creating a value for an end user, or I want to satisfy a stakeholder, or we want to expand, or we want to satisfy a customer. Now, it must be objective driven, and finally, it must have a constraint, which is limited by time, cost, resource, and quality. It must have constraint. Next slide, sir. Now, let's look at the organizational structure of a project, a program, and a portfolio. A project, a program, and a portfolio. Take example, we all work in an NGO. So let me start with project. We all work in an NGO, and the NGO decide that we need a visibility. And one of the ways for us to have visibility is for us to build a website. Now, we building a website is a project. How the website look, who are those people we need to build the website? We need a UI UX developer, we need a front end developer, we need a content writer, we need an SEO expert, and the rest of them. Now we bring all these teams together and we build a project, which is the website. Now, this simply is a project. Now, when they decided that, oh, we want a digital transformational program, it's no longer a project because a digital transformational program are different projects that are closely related. For example, we need a digital transformational program. One, we need a website, we need an app, we need a payment link. If, for example, a supermarket wants a digital transformational program, what do they need? They need a website, they need an app, they need an online chatbots, and the rest of them. So these are different projects that are brought together to form a program, right? Now, going a little bit upward, we have portfolios. Now, portfolios are strategic collections of programs and projects that align with organizational goals. Now, let's take WHO or Red Cross, for example, right? Red Cross, when there's earthquake, you see Red Cross. When there's anything that have to do with humanitarian, you see them, right? When they needed an advance, they may also come up with a technological program for teaching women on tech. This may necessarily not mean that they are taking care of those who are sick, but they know that this will also improve the livelihood of people. So because of this, they are coming up with a different program, but all these programs are aligned with their organizational goal, right? So this is the difference between a project, a program, and a portfolio. So let me just use what I have on my screen. Let me start with project. So we say project delivers specific output within constraint and tactical execution of defined scope, schedule, and budget. Now this means scope delivery, timeline adhered to, and budget management. This is a project. Now, but when we go to program focus cross project coordination, different project coordination, shared resources management, and unified stakeholders comes. While portfolio focus on strategic goal alignment, resource optimization, risk management across all all projects and programs. Next slide, sir. So what is project management? So we have talked about projects. We have looked at the difference between project, program, and portfolio. Now, what is project management? Project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements. Now, the application of knowledge, the application of skills, the application of tools and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. Now, the core components are planning, executing, monitoring, or control, then deliverables. So these are what we call project management life cycle. But we'll be talking about that in 2 or 3 weeks class. So a project manager now, since we understand what the project means, a project manager is the bridge that makes things happen. I said that earlier. And they don't just plan, they don't just assign tasks, they don't just track tasks. Now they coordinate people, clear roadblocks, manage ideas, and bring structure. This is what project. Oh, sorry, Mr. Okay, thank you. So this is what project managers do. I remember one time I was doing something on ChatGPT, and I would just ask a question, and one of the answers ChatGPT gave me is project managers are not tax trackers, are not celebrity tax trackers. So it's beyond that. So if you are coming with the idea of project management is just for me to tax track, no, there are a lot of things that are involved. Now, one of those things they do is team leadership. They motivate, they guide, they support cross-functional teams. Communication, they facilitate information flow between all stakeholders. If you are not careful, you will pass the wrong information to the wrong person. So we're talking about when we talked about planning, initiating and planning, because there are some informations that are not supposed to be for everybody, right? Risk management, they identify, assess, and mitigate potential risks. We'll get to know what risk is all about. So the ultimate goal is to ensure that consistent delivery of high quality service, solution, and deliverables that meet or exceed client requirements and expectations. This is what managers and project management is all about. Now, next slide. Let's look at the triple constraint. So there's what we call the triple constraint in project management. Now, some also call it the triangle of project management. Now, There are three. For every project success, the cost, the schedule, and the scope. So cost and resources, schedule and time, scope and quality must be properly managed. Must be properly managed. If any one factor changes, at least one other factor is likely to be affected. Now, it is the PM's duty to balance the competing constraints. Now, let's just take an example of it. Imagine we are building a 10-story building, right? And we have 30, let's say we have 3 months to build it, a 10-story building. That means the cost and the resources needed will be more. It will go high, right? So that we can meet up with the time. Imagine we have 2 years to build it. The cost and the resources may likely reduce because we have more time, and some of the resources we may just get them on the go. Now, this may not change the quality to some extent. Now, but imagine that we want to build a low budget app, just like what most AI in Nigeria do. They build the front end and attach it with ChatGPT. They get ChatGPT API and attach it and say they have built an AI solution for us. So imagine we are building a low budget AI solution. The cost will be low, right? Because it has to change. Now, scope and quality, what works will be done, and the quality standard required to meet the stakeholders' expectation. Now, this constraint defines boundaries and acceptance criteria. While for schedule and time, it limits available time for execution, while for financial resource, which is the cost and resource, it limits budget and available budget. Next slide, sir. So do projects fail? Yes, yes. I'm sure most of us have seen one or two government projects that failed around us, and we have always complained. That is far beyond our reach. Now, some of us would have gone to a birthday party or an event or a wedding party. Something would have been done better. You feel that somewhere. The most popular one, they started serving food from the front, and before you get to the back, the food gets finished. And unfortunately, you are seated at the back, and you were like, oh, there's way they should have shared this food, and everybody would have gotten, and this. Yes, project fails. So it is said that 65% projects fail. So just imagine we only have 35% that is successful, and they said 12% fail completely. Now this was I this fact, it was shocking to me. Only one in 200 IT projects deliver intended benefits on time and within budget. Only one out of 200. Wow, this is huge. So 199 either fail based on time or fail based on budget. Now let's look at cost and schedule overrun. An average cost overrun is 27%, only 34% complete on time, project delivered late 74%, and completed on budget just 34%. Now, what is the cost of a poor project management? What is the cost? It says that over $1 million wasted every 20 seconds due to poor project management practice, and $2 trillion wasted annually by organizations. So 75% average budget overrun for IT project that fails. So let's look at, so I want us to look at other industries. We do say that project management, you can work as a project manager in any industry. So let's look at other industries where it has high failure rate. Number one, as usual, government, consulting, energy and utility. Our NEPA is one of them. Communication. Some days ago, we had total failure of MTN network for almost 6 hours where I stay, and everybody was complaining. You can't make call, you can't do it. So this is some of the reasons and the failure statistics of project management. Now, why do projects fail? So we have some common causes why projects fail. Some common causes. Number one, unclear goals. Everybody have an idea. If you sit someone down and tell and you ask them, I have 1 million, what business do you think you can do? You will be shocked what they will bring out. But when you tell them, put it on paper, write it, define it, and everything, ask them to go and do a business case, the problem has started. They will just go and browse something and bring it for you. So, on clear goals, we decide to build an app for an e commerce uh, organization, and someone started asking us, can't we add a facial payment system to it? I said, why do we need a facial payment system? This is just you select, it drop in your chart, you make your payment. He said, we need to innovate, we need to be a step ahead. I said, please don't bring what we don't know. Let's start with what we have, then we grow into that. Unclear goals, we have poor stakeholders involvement, we have lack of leadership, we have untrained project managers, we have scope changes, and we have poor communication. The one I want to talk more about, which always happen, is scope changes. It is called scope creep. When scope creep is we now changing the original objective of why we want to build a project. What are our scope, and we are deviating from it just to add some flavor to what we want. So one of the major challenge in the world is poorly trained PMs. This challenge face is untrained PM followed by attempting to run too many projects simultaneously. Yes, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. So, what is the value of project management? What is the value of project management? Next slide, sir. The impact of formal project management practice. So it said that 2.5 times more successful with a formal project management tool or technique. We have 27% more likely on time and budget if we use the technique. We have 90% company agree PM is crucial, and 25 times more saving with standard. Advantage of formal PM: one is better resource control, either financial, physical, or human. Number two is shorter development time, faster time to the market. Number three is high quality. Number four is improved customer relation, which is customer satisfaction. We have lower costs and better coordination. Now, let's look at the career, project management career itself. Just as we have in our first screen, it said that 6% job growth faster than average. 6% job growth faster than average. So it was said that there is 78.2 thousand annual openings due to growth and retirement. Yes, I said this on Saturday that one of my mentors told me that there is always problem in the world, and there is always people who want to solve the problem, and they always employ project managers because the problem is physical, but the solution is in their mind. They need somebody to bring it out of their mind, document it, manage it, get them resources that will help them solve the problem, and it will become a product that will be sellable. Yes. So the total job as at 2024 is going to be 1.1 million project managers in the world. And for the salary, I said this on Saturday. Entry level is averagely $62,000. Associate is $70,000 per year. While PMs, which is the main one, $91,000 per year. While we have the senior PMs, which is $122 per year. Now, cross industry demand, PMs are needed in almost every industry: technology, construction, education, healthcare. finance, non-profit NGOs, and others. Now, this is a global recognized career where your PMP certification in Nigeria is the same thing as PMP certification in UK. It's the same thing with Canada, it's the same thing with Ireland or France, right? We have the CAPM, we have the Agile and Scrum Master. So your skills are valid anywhere in the world. So if you write your exam in Nigeria and travel to UK, it's still the same results. Your certification you present. There is no need to rewrite another one, right? Now we have the career growth or progression. So you start from a PM to a senior PM to a program manager, a portfolio manager, and at the top, a VP or a director. It has a transferable skill, which is leadership, communication, problem solving, and strategic thinking. So why choose PM? Why choose PM? You become the person people trust to lead, organize, and drive progress. You build powerful leadership skills and open door for executive role. One of the reasons why I decided to move from the traditional tech to PM was I had a mentor and I went to visit him, and he was telling me how he moved into consulting right from his first day after school as a doctor. And one thing he said was he went to visit a practicing doctor who is far older than him, I think around 60. A practicing doctor was telling him that a dose of operation that he had to do for the next 3 days. And he looked at the man at his age, he has several operations to do. And he told himself, is this how I want to live my life? So one thing I've discovered is at the peak of every career is consulting, is leadership. So why don't you start from the get go, right? Now let's look at some project management terminology. I think this is where we'll be ending the class today. Some key.
Can't hear you again, no. Probably your network. Mr. Abraham.
Akande, are you there?
Can we hear me? Let me just see.
You are back now.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. So key project management terminology. Number one is project. Project. A project is an endeavor with a unique outcome, not just a routine operation, right? Example, building a website, building an app, taking a product to the market, doing a survey to know why Nigerians are always angry with the government. So it's a project. Two is scope. These are boundaries of the project. What is included and not included from in the work? What are we planning to deliver? What are we not planning to deliver? So this defines the project boundaries. Three is time, the project time frame for completion, including milestones. These are schedules and deadlines. What do we do in the first month? What do we do in the second month up to the last month of delivery, right? We have budget, which is the financial resources allocated to the project for successful delivery. Financial resources allocated to the project for successful delivery. This is what the cost constraint. We have stakeholder. Stakeholder is anyone that is interested, that has an interest in this project outcome. They may either be the sponsors, they may be the team, they may be the customers, they may be the end user, right? Anyone that have an interest in this project is a stakeholder. We have deliverables. These are tangible outputs of the project. It's either a report, a product, a service, document, or even a successful market campaign, right? These are deliverables. Then we have the risk. A risk is a potential event that could negatively impact the project. Anything that will impact the project is a risk. And we have resources. Now, resources are people, equipment, or material needed for the project execution. Resources can be human, material, or technology. Right? Now, so towards the end, project management is more than a profession. It is a mindset focused on delivering value, managing constraints, and leading teams to achieve extraordinary outcomes. So how is this done? It has a we have to plan strategically by defining clear objectives, scopes, and success criteria before execution. So we'll be talking about this more when we look at the project management life cycle. Execute with discipline, applying proven methodology, managing resources, and control quality. So we'll be looking at this when we look at the project management methodology, where we have the waterfall, we have the agile, and we have the hybrid. So there are more, but these are the basic project management methodology. And finally, communicate transparently, which is keeping stakeholder informed, engaged, and aligned throughout the project. So, just as I said, this principle remain the same wherever you go to in the world. The principle remain the same. Thank you. Do we have anyone with questions?
I
Any
think
questions?
the last slide. He's not showing us the last slide, the one you just finished.
The last slide. Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, please, can we have the slide so we can go through it on our own? Because it seems you're somehow fast.
It will be communicated to you, but I don't know if the slide will be available.
I really need the slide so I can go through it myself.
It will be communicated to you if it will be available.
Thank you.
Questions? Any question?
No questions, sir.
Thank you so much. I think I'll hand over to Mr. Doka.
Hello? Mr. Abraham.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Now, if I have the skills, okay, from this training of project management, and I do my own research and findings, and I'm able to actually perform the role of a project manager, but I was not able to actually get the certifications like the one you talk about, the Scrum Master, the Agile, and the rest of that, maybe due to financial constraints. Will that hinder me from performing the duty of a project manager? Is it a must you must have those certifications before you can perform as a project manager, or with the skills you can actually go out there to do your best? That's my question.
Thank you so much. So, if I get your question correctly, can you be a project manager without certification? I guess that's the summary, right?
Exactly.
Now, I will say yes and I will say no. Yes, you can be a project manager without getting the certification. Can you get jobs without the certification? Probably yes, but not all the time. But when you want to scale up, you need a certification, because when you are not certified as a PMI, you have limitations to jobs you can apply for. But will this change you as a project manager? Will this mean you are not a project manager? One of my mentors do say there are project managers with certification but without the knowledge, and there are project managers without certification and with the knowledge. They have the skill, they have the knowledge. Now, some project managers get job, some PMs get job without certification, but whenever they want to scale, maybe you want to grow bigger, you can't, because there's a limitation to what you can do. But that doesn't mean you are not a project manager. Please, do I answer you? Are you satisfied with the answer?
Sorry, let me come in here. When we talk about certification, I think the best thing for us to have the skill first and the methodology, so that we'll be able to apply the methodology. Everybody here will have managed one project or the other, will have managed one project. But when they ask you now to give to submit your CV, you might not even remember to add that you're a project manager in your CV. Why? Because all your project management, all your efforts, all the projects you have done in the past were not standardized. So that's one thing that this course will help you. There are things you have been missing in your projects. Because, okay, for example, now I had there's a project I did November and December. So that project was, I renovated my father's house, and I have relatives. These are the stakeholders. I want to talk about stakeholders. So at some point, they were not on ground. So they wanted the communication. Oh, what are you going to do tomorrow? What are you doing this thing? Why are you doing this thing? Why are you using this thing? So that communication and all those things, it made me to realize, because having the knowledge of project management, I just took it. Is it not just to renovate my father's house? So I did not formalize it. So what this course will help is that after this course, any other project you are going to engage in will help you begin to standardize your processes so that you don't just do it informally, and you'll be able to continue to add it on your CV. And as you grow and as you get certifications, your pedigree will grow alongside it. So I pasted attendance on the comment section, on the chat section. So let's go to click the link and take your attendance.
I think I have a question on the comment section. As a certified project manager, are there available sites or place I can look for available jobs? Yes, some of them are the ones we ignore. People have gotten jobs from Twitter, from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from Instagram. Yes, they are. And there are so many job sites where you can apply for jobs. So there are so many. I hope I answer correctly.
We access the attendance sheet so that we'll take our attendance as we move on. Then you can ask your questions as we attend to it.
Okay, there's another question here. What are the most important tools to know how to use as a project manager? So I don't want to say this tool, this tool, this tool. The reason is because every organization has a tool they use, right? Some organization won't prefer you to use Excel. Some will tell you we need you to learn to use Microsoft Project. Some ClickUp, some Monday.com, some Trello. So depending on the organization, some has a software built for them that they use. So I don't want to say this is the most important tool. But our advice, learn the basic of the major tools. Learn the basic of the major tools. So project management has a lot of tools. But one advantage is if you are able to grab one, you can scale into the other. If you're able to use Excel, you can use Smartsheet. If you're able to use ClickUp, you can use Monday.com, you can use Jira. If you're able to use Trello, you can use Jira. So that is it. Thank you. Thank you. Any other question? Since we don't have
I can't seem to see the attendance link on the chat.
oh it maybe guess
See the chat. Can you see the chat?
Yes, I can see the chat box, but it's empty on my side.
I dropped it again.
Can you see it now?
No, not yet. I think maybe it's my problem.
I need to refresh. You might need to refresh because yeah, people are seeing it. People are signing up now. So, is there anybody else you are not seeing the chat box?
Yes. No, I've not seen lost you.
Not in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen the chat box, or is it that you have not seen the attendance sheet on the chat box? Let me know what you are seeing.
Attendance sheets. Sorry, where the chat? I've seen the chat box now. I just saw the chat box. I'm not seeing the chat.
I'm sorry, I can see it at my end, but it's not editing.
I'm seeing on this box. Where are you seeing on this box now?
Beside where you are doing where you can react, where you can put your emoji.
Is that separate chat?
In this course, you will see there where you see the number of participants going red. Just click on that.